is R2D Tech.
So we're going to be reviewing the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 in this video, weighing up the advantages and disadvantages of the phone, along with giving you guys an insight about the specs.
Obviously the Note 8 is Samsung's flagship model at the moment. Some have rated it the best phone of 2017, such as MKBHD. We'd like to give you our opinions on what we think.
So with the Note 8 you get an amazing 6.3-inch OLED display with great colour vibrancy. Along with this you get a whopping resolution of 1440 by 2960 pixels. This resolution is great for viewing videos, but you might have the black bars on the side of the screen depending on what app you're using. If it's YouTube you can just zoom in, although this may cut some of the image. Many YouTubers and users have decided that the Note 8 had the best design of 2017. You can understand why with its slick curves and its edge-to-edge display, and we hope to see more of this in the future from Samsung, hopefully reducing the size of the bezels, perhaps even reducing it to a bezel-less display.
So this phone has a 1.7 GHz octa-core processor with a Snapdragon 835 chip, which has performed greatly in 2017, although some say that the iPhone X's chip has outperformed this chip in 2017. But with the Samsung Galaxy S9 we're expecting the new Snapdragon 845 processor, which will be extremely fast. This beats most phones of 2017, including the iPhone X, which had 3GB of RAM, although the Razer phone, which many people have grown to like, had 8GB of RAM. Perfect for a gaming experience.
Another advantage of the Note 8 is that you get the S Pen, which is an excellent tool for making notes and other features such as using Bixby Vision, which allows you to analyze content on the screen. You might want to translate something or maybe just look up a product. You can even annotate content which is on the screen with the function called Screen Write. Bixby has received a lot of criticism, especially with the new release of the Google Assistant. In terms of OS, the Note 8 has Android 7.1.1, which obviously isn't Android 8.1, and users won't expect to have Android 8.1 until later this year. So, the front-facing camera is an 8-megapixel camera, which gives you high-quality selfies. On the back, you get dual 12-megapixel cameras, one of them being a telephoto lens, and both of them also have optical stabilization. An advantage of having two cameras also gives you portrait mode, which we've seen on many other flagships last year. On the Note 8, portrait mode is exceptionally good because you can actually adjust the blur after you've taken the picture. For storage, the standard model of the Note 8 has 64GB, but it is expandable with an SD card slot. The battery has a 3,300 mAh battery, and many users have found that this will get them through a full day. Although this battery is bigger than most smartphones, with the huge display on the Note 8, it might drain faster than you think. This phone has a bottom-firing speaker, which isn't the strongest in the world, but it's adequate for everyday use. In terms of ports, the Note 8 has a headphone jack and uses USB-C. Obviously it would be great if this phone had front-firing stereo speakers like the Pixel 2 XL. It's great that Samsung decided to keep the headphone jack, but we think that it's going to be removed on the S9.
There are many advantages of the Samsung Note 8. One which I find really impressive is the edge-to-edge display.
On the other hand, the speakers aren't front-facing stereo speakers, which might affect the audio when watching a video or playing a game.
Another thing which I find really cool is the S Pen, which you can use to make notes on any screen, but also you can use Bixby with it to identify pictures and also translate text on any screen.
Although the design is very slick, it's still glass, which is susceptible to fingerprints and possibly cracks.
One thing which I really love Samsung for is keeping the headphone jack. All other companies have basically got rid of this, but I'm really happy that I can still use my earphones with this phone. Obviously speed is something that's really important on a phone in 2017. This phone does really well speed-wise, especially since it has the 6GB of RAM. But also the 64GB might not be enough for you storage-wise, but you can upgrade the storage to whatever you want using the expandable storage tray, where you can insert an SD card.
There are still some features of Bixby, the personal assistant, which needs to be fixed. Hopefully Samsung will update Bixby or get rid of it altogether.
Another thing which has been really impressive on this phone is the camera. It's a 12 megapixel dual lens camera on the back and an 8 megapixel front-facing camera for selfies. The back lenses allow you to use the telephoto lens along with the primary lens to do portrait mode photos, which blurs the background, but you can also adjust how much the background's blurred, which is really cool. The camera itself is really high quality, and it won't make mistakes like other phones this year.
Possibly the biggest flaw with the Note 8 is the placement of the fingerprint sensor. It's right next to the camera, which means if you accidentally place your finger in the wrong place, you might smudge the camera lens, which will mess up most of your photos. If you have smaller hands, you might also find that it's very hard to reach, and so it might cause you some problems. So obviously we think this is a great phone with loads of great features. It was also rated one of the best phones of 2017. You can decide for yourselves how good it is. If you want more content like this, please like and subscribe.